Well, I'm so glad you've joined in today. Looks like as people start coming in, we're just going to get started here. And this webinar is all about strengthening your online presence and transforming your website into really being a powerful lead gen tool. And as we get started, I'm just going to ask my colleague here to give a little intro of himself and what he does here at Wellness Living. I've had a chance to get to know him quite a bit while preparing for this webinar. And not only is he an awesome person, he really knows his stuff from a technical point of view. So go ahead, Adam. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Carrie. It's so amazing to host all of you guys today. And I'm looking forward to a very positive response from every one of you. And I myself, I'm the team lead for the presence website department that we have. We're building customized websites for our customers that we have in Wellness Living. And I'm really excited to host all of you guys very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw Fabian, you asked if this call is being recorded. It absolutely is. And you'll get a link to the recording and a follow-up email for sure. As for me, I'm Carrie. My name's Carrie Jeffrey. I've been working here at Wellness Living since January of this year. And my role is as a business advisor team lead. And I know some of you out there because I've talked to you and you've talked to some of my teammates. And we're here as business advisors to really help make sure that you're using Wellness Living to the best of its capabilities. As you know, it's a very robust platform, and we started this team, I think it was beginning of May of this year, to really help our customers make sure that they're optimizing wellness living. And along the way, if there's tools that we can offer as a way of upgrading existing services to make sure that you're hitting your business goals. So I'm glad to see some of those familiar names there because you've already booked account reviews, you've had a health check on your account, and that's something that any of you as customers can book with our team. At the end of the call, we'll have an email that you can reach out to us. And also in that follow-up email with the recording, you're going to get a Calendly link that you can book time directly on the business advisor's calendar, and you'll get to schedule a health check. You'll be able to do an audit check of your website, all those good things. So, all right. So for me, not only have I been here at Wellness Living, I call myself a bit of a late bloomer. I started in the corporate world a little later in my early 40s, and after being a stay-at-home mom for 4 sons for about 20 years, and then I discovered my passion for fitness and wellness too, which was I think about 7 years ago, and it's just transformed my life. And so I'm super passionate about talking to business owners like all of you and hearing about your business and your stories and the way you're transforming other people's lives, especially after seeing how it impacted me incredibly, not only from a physical standpoint, but also from a mental standpoint. I had never had the opportunity to have a coach. And so many of you as business owners are coaching your members. And I want to tell you that that is so powerful. As someone like me who was a non-athlete, suffered from asthma most of my life, all these things, your impact on my life as the coaches that I had in my life through my fitness journey have been incredible in making me understand that I can do hard things. And that's really helped in all areas of my life. So that's a little bit about me, maybe more than you wanted to know, but hey, that's what you get when I'm hosting the webinar. So let's dive in. So on this webinar, you've signed up, I'm assuming, because you want to learn more about how to optimize your website. We're going to talk about why your website is so essential to growing your business. And I just want to point out that if you have any questions along the way, Adam is here as my technical support to be able to answer any of those questions that you have. It's probably better, it's easier to track them if you use the Q&A instead of just the chat. But either or, Adam's going to be looking at those and answering your questions as we go along. So we've talked about why your essentials website is essential to growing your business. Then we'll look at some of the best practices for website user experiences that are going to help you increase user engagement and convert those leads to clients for your businesses. We're going to also look at how to optimize your local search engine rankings to make sure that you're attracting more leads. We want your businesses to grow. So let's jump in. This is this is not a surprising statistic at all, right? I was in Montreal last weekend seeing my son and his wife, their new apartment. I've never been to Montreal, and within the 3 days that I was there, I used Google so much to find everything that we needed to go. They needed furniture. We needed to go find some groceries. We need to find some restaurants to check out that would be really good and worth spending our dime on. So this doesn't surprise me at all when I see the statistics that 90% of consumers search the internet to find info on the products, services, fitness centers, businesses, prior to making a purchase. I want you to just do a little exercise for me. I want you to pause just for a minute. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about your business. I want you to pretend that I am a first-time client and I'm walking into your business. And just think for me, while your eyes are closed, think about that experience as soon as I walk in that door. What is the environment that you've worked hard to cultivate in your studio or in your gym, your fitness center? What's happening around? What is the visual look and feel? How does it sound? What does it smell like? What are all those things? How do you want your customers to feel? How do you want me to feel the first time I walk into your studio? Now, you've worked hard, I know, to cultivate that and to have a really great experience. My first experience in a CrossFit studio was interesting. Music was super loud. People were talking and hyped. I got a hug from people I don't even know. And there was chalk all over the place, but it was really exciting to me. And there was a careful cultivation of that atmosphere. No less important is your website and how that represents you and your business and how you want those potential clients to feel when they come to your website. So it has such a huge impression when potential customers are looking to find a gym that meets their needs, a yoga studio, a fitness center, a wellness center, whatever you may be. That is so crucial to how it drives lead generation, to allowing clients and leads to book services from your page, and really ultimately really builds credibility for your business and for your services. All right, that brings us to our first poll question. So I want to know, of all the folks that are here, I think we have just over 50 people attending. I want to know who manages your website for you. Is it A, you've hired a web design agency or marketing agency to manage your website? Is it a staff member? Do you manage it yourself? Or is it a friend or family member? So that poll should be up and you should be able to lock in your answers right now. Go ahead. As a business advisor, I get to talk to a lot of customers, and I've been talking lately to customers who are managing their own websites and not loving it. And they're like, please help me. This takes too much time. I'm not a technical expert, so I sympathize with that for sure. All right. Do we have an answer yet? I'm waiting to see if all the poll questions have been answered, and let's see what the result is. All right, so 74% of you manage it yourself. Not surprising, actually, considering some of the conversations I've been having lately with some of you. So 15% of you are paying somebody. You're paying a web design agency to manage your website for you. There's a couple of you that are trusting a friend or family member. Very brave. And then some of you have your staff managing the website as well. Okay, awesome. All right, well, back-to-back poll questions here. So, looks like most of you are managing your own websites. I want to ask you, how often are you updating your website? Are you updating it 3 or more times per week? Are you updating it maybe twice a month, say? Or are you updating rarely, maybe a few times a year, maybe quarterly or something like that? So tell me how often you do that. And even if you're not the one managing your website, how often are you requesting updates from your web agency? And I'd be curious about what that process looks like for you. What's the time commitment? Do you have to submit a ticket? Is there, how long will it take for that turnover, for that update to be submitted? All right. Is everybody locked in their votes? All right, let's see how often you are updating your website. I'm very curious about this. See if our team has this poll question answered yet. All right, here we go. Should have the answer in a second. All right. So 2 times per month is what we're seeing. So 49% of you are saying you're updating your website twice a month. Some of you, 13%, are saying 3 or more times per week. That's a lot of changes. And about 38% of you are saying rarely, few times per year. All right. Interesting. Thank you for contributing. I really appreciate that. So as we dive in here, we'll think about some of the design stats that we see for websites. Of course, as we just through that experience we just had together in our mindfulness moment about your studio, your online experience, digital presence are just as important as that in-person feel. So that is really important when you're looking to attract and convert website traffic for sure. So 94% of first impressions relate to your site's web design. How does that new client, how does that lead feel when they come to your website? What does it make them feel like? 90% of consumers go with a competitor after a poor user experience. That is not shocking. If I'm on a website too long, I'm off to the next one. I think you'll all agree with that too. And then you look at 73% of consumers trust the information on a business website over other sources. I just found that super interesting. So what is the information that you are conveying on your website to your customers? A few more stats based on search engines. Your online location is super important. You want it to be visible, easy to find, really welcoming. This is not surprising to you. 76% of people who search on their smartphones will visit the business within a day. As I was preparing for this, I'm like, yep, been there, done that. So this was on my trip to Montreal last weekend, doing all my searching on a mobile device for sure. And 46% of all Google searches are looking for local information. If you're a planner like me, you might be planning ahead if you're visiting a new city or something like that. But typically we're seeing that the vast majority of searches are looking for local information. So these are the 4 pillars that we have really determined drives your online presence. We're going to take a deep dive into these, but you can look at these 4 pillars like design, information, visibility, and ease of use. And we're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough through each of these to really help you guarantee that you appear in local searches, and all while providing your clients, your leads, with the best user experience possible. So let's talk about design. Your website design should absolutely reflect your brand identity, what it is you stand for. Your colors, your fonts, your imagery should be consistent across your website. You want to make sure that look and feel is beautiful. I think about sometimes like if you're a yoga studio, what are the colors, the brand, what are the guidelines that you're using for your website? Does it convey calm, relaxation, things like that? If you're a boot camp, does it convey excitement that this is the place to be? All those good things, right? Does it really accurately reflect your brand? Is it a simple, clean layout? Is it easy to navigate? Is it easy to find what you're looking for? Is there too much to look at? Cluttered website definitely affects usability. It's interesting, I was looking at a website earlier this week for a customer who serves a lot of mature clientele, and they had a lot of very tiny font on their website, and a lot of it, which if you get old like me, you'll know that that's hard to read. unless you're gonna like resize everything on your phone to very large font size, also me. So that's something you want to think about as well, that you're using fonts, the typography that are easy to use, easy to read. It matters for sure. And then looking at the information that needs to be on your website. I'm not going to go through all of these. You're going to be able to get this recording, so you're going to be able to take a look at all of these details. But suffice it to say that when you look at your website, your homepage can answer all these questions, like what kind of fitness business you are, what classes do you offer, what are your services, what are the next steps for a visitor, do you have a lead capture widget that pops up and gets them right into a lead capture flow. You're going to need a schedule page. And sometimes if you're a very small business or a small appointment-based business, this may be a little more, may not be as applicable, but typically for all other businesses, you really want a schedule page so that your clients, your leads can say, I can fit this into my life. Where do I fit this into my life, and see that? You're going to want a classes page for sure, to know what's being offered, what class is right for me. An about us page, and nothing makes me happier than seeing wonderful origin stories on websites. When I'm doing my research to talk to some of you amazing business owners, I love to read. That's the first thing I go to, is your about us, to say, I want to see your bio and learn why you got into the business, what you're passionate about. And that's so important to really build that connection and engagement when a client actually isn't walking into your studio for the first time, but coming to your website for the first time to learn about you and what's important to you as a business owner and as a business. Of course, a contact page goes without saying. A business that I looked at recently was only had a phone number on it, and it wasn't clickable. So that's really challenging to be able to offer people that. If that's the only way for them to contact you, that's probably not optimal. Okay, and talking about visibility, and I just want to say I have this in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. It says breathe. Because when I'm on a roll, I forget to breathe and I start talking too fast. So if you have questions, I want to remind you, throw them in the Q&A. Adam has all the technical background that I do not have. So this what makes us a great tag team here. But just make sure that you're throwing those questions in here as we go along. And if I'm going too fast, say in the chat, Carrie, slow down. All right, so let's think about in terms of your, if you're, for your visibility, we just want to make sure these three principles, EAT, we call it, your expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, are all really important to have, because that's what Google uses in order to determine your website's credibility. That has a direct impact on your domain authority, and even bigger, has a direct impact on your local search rankings. So those are just really want to think about in terms of visibility. Okay, so we're going to dive into this a little bit further to talk about some of these details. We really want to see how you can improve your local search rankings and increase your visibility online. So here's some ways to do it. We're going to do a little deeper discussion into each of these. Google My Business Profile. We'll talk about reviews, one of my favorite topics. If you've had the good fortune to be in a coaching call with me, I'm very passionate about reviews. We're going to talk about being mobile friendly, being responsive, all these good things, hyper-localized content. These are all really important things to determine your local search rankings and improve them. So let's start with optimizing your business profile, your Google My Business Profile. Absolutely, you need to, if you haven't done this yet, you need to create and verify your Google My Business page. And one of the things, and we'll talk about this in a second, is really encouraging your customers to share reviews online. On WellnessLiving subscription, you have the ability to send out notifications to your customers under your client notification tab to request reviews on WellnessLiving Explorer, or you can direct them via a URL to Google reviews as well. And one of the things that I love about reviews is when business owners respond to those reviews. it actually increases your trustability, your credibility factor, and it increases the likelihood that a potential customer is actually going to buy when they see that engagement, for sure. And one of the ways also is using Wellness Living's Reserve with Google feature. And as we talk about that in a minute, I'll have a link for you. One of my team will throw that in the link to in the knowledge base so that you have that. So Reserve with Google is something that can be turned on in your business back end to make sure that your clients can book classes, appointments, events for your business when they search your business up. They can go directly from your Google My Page to your business to reserve classes. So that is incredibly important, and it helps to boost your visibility. It increases your SEO. It gives you a wider audience reach. And again, going back to that credibility factor. So hopefully you'll be able to see if our team can throw that in the chat. That would be awesome. And be able to see that. There it is, the knowledge base. So you might want to check that out. Click on that link and check it out. We'll include these links after as well, but that's a really good way to learn more about Reserve with Google. All right, then creating local business listings. This one's a little more technical for me. I gotta confess, I just learned what map aggregators are. Full confession, full transparency. So I learned that map aggregators actually compile information to major search engines like Yelp, Bing, Google, TripAdvisor, and much more. So these are some of what you see here are some of the top 4 map aggregators, and we'll throw a bunch of the links in with other directory sites. We'll throw them in our chat as well to make sure that you have access to those as well. One of the things that's super critical I wanted to point out is to make sure that you're keeping your business listing accurate and consistent across all these listings. Anything that's wrong, if a phone number gets missed or a wrong email address or anything, that will really tell the search engines that information about your business is not correct, and it may not bring up your business in search results. So you just got to be really, really nitpicky about those details to make sure it's consistent across all those local business listings. All right. All right, so here's where I get to talk a little bit more about client reviews. I know I already talked about them, but really this makes me so happy. In a former company, I was known as, my informal title was happiness provider. And if I didn't have my screen board behind me, you'd say that I have choose happy signs behind me. Because it's so important that you are providing an amazing experience. I know you all know this already. And you give your customers, your clients, an opportunity to share that story, to share that good news, to share what they are learning, how you've made them feel when they came to your class or your service or your appointment. So nothing, absolutely nothing enhances your image like that, genuine client satisfaction. So it definitely helps you gain credibility. It will improve your search engine ranking. And it leaves a positive impression. It's one of the first things when I was Googling restaurants and furniture stores and stuff last weekend in Montreal. That's what I was looking for. I always look for reviews now. And if it's below a 4-star, not interested. And I'm sure many more of you are like that as well. I asked if we could throw in a link to one of our customers from the UK. Kalamukti is a yoga studio, and they've done a phenomenal job of actually attaching reviews to their page, which is all something all of you can do through Wellness Living, is to make sure that you're showcasing your client satisfaction on your website. So not only when they Google you, they get those reviews, but they can actually see those reviews right on the website when they come to your website. Oh, thanks for putting that up. I love showing this website because they have over, I think last count was over 730 reviews that they are showcasing on their website. And that's such a powerful lead gen tool to get people to say, that many people can't be wrong about this studio. Let me go check it out. So I really want to encourage you to to really think about having those client reviews showing up on your website, and so that potential clients, your leads, can see what a great experience you are providing your customers. All right, I'll stop talking about reviews. But if you want, I can say more. All right, not as sexy, but really important is collecting inbound links and making sure they're relevant, and that tells Google that you're a legitimate company. This increases your domain authority. And here's some of the ways you can get inbound links. You can look at sponsors or partnerships and think about promotional offers with maybe a nearby store or something like that. One of my sons, I don't look old enough to have a 26-year-old son, that's what I tell myself, and is a studio manager, assistant studio manager at an Orange Theory franchise. And they have started doing cross promotions with a yoga studio. And that has helped them gain more traffic for sure. And having that on their website has been a big advantage. I think about a customer I talked to last week, a Pilates customer in Tennessee. And she gets a lot of customers that come from the CrossFit box down the street because they can make them feel better after they tear their bodies apart with CrossFit. Also can identify with that too. So that's some really good ways to think about cross-purpose promotions, things like that, to increase increase your domain authority. Here's another important way. It's a major key to ranking highly on Google. This should be a mandatory part of your website if you are a location-based business, which I think most of you are. That's really going to help you in being very practical with your keyword strategy, and that's just going to set you apart from other businesses online, and will really help to build that domain authority that I keep talking about. I think being an expert in your location is really how to succeed with hyper localization. So you can create hyper local content of less than 1,000 words on your site that includes stuff like your street, your neighborhood, the city, something like why CrossFit on Sunset Avenue is the perfect way to start your Saturday morning. Well, that's just me. Might not be you, but that's me. And then maybe there's and then go to, what we used to do is go to the local brewery after the partner workout on a Saturday morning. So that was advertised as well, things like that. So that's really helpful to think about how you're really adding those keywords. And you can Google this, but when you think about how to properly conduct keyword research, it's kind of a science in and of itself, but you want to create that list of possible keywords, identify those keywords volume, there's ways to measure that online, determine the search intent of the keyword. There's all these ways that you can go about producing this hyper localized content and through your keywords. I gotta say, this stuff is a little bit beyond my pay grade. This is the stuff that Adam and his team really do when they are building present sites for our clients. This is the stuff that they take care of and make sure that all the enhanced SEO and all this keyword research is all done. All right, and then moving on, we're going to talk about how you're reviewing your URL, title tags, headers, meta description. Anybody know what a meta description is? It's just me. I had to look that up too. So I found out that a meta description is the HTML tag that summarizes your web page's content. It's how it shows up on the Google rankings. It's usually a snippet of text, not very long, that appears below your page title in search engine results. So that's you want to make sure those keywords that we just talked about are found in that meta description. You can focus on events you're hosting as well in your area, and that really helps you generate that geo-targeted content. All right, and then we're going to talk about adding location pages to your websites. If you're more than one location, you're going to want to create separate location pages, and that's a really great way to improve your local SEO efforts. If you're not multi-location, this is still important. You can still have this in the title, like this example, voted best yoga studio in Dallas, Texas. Make sure those locations are in your subheading, introductory paragraph, 2 to 3 more times throughout the article. It may seem like it's too much, but it really helps boost your SEO efforts for sure. All right. So one of the things really, when we look at websites, and this kind of goes back to what we talked about the look and feel. How easy is it to use your site? Is it mobilely responsive? And really, mobilely responsive just means it resizes to fit any device. If you're an Apple user, if you have an iPad, whatever it might be that you're using, your browser window, that it resizes to be able to fit the screen. You want to have your site speed looked at and make sure that you're measuring that so that it's a quick experience, an easy experience going from tab to tab. That your site navigation makes sense, that really allows any visitors, any leads that are coming to your site to really quickly find the information they're looking for, and make sure that you're addressing all stages of the buyer's journey. Like, what happens next after I submit this lead, submit this form? Like, what happens next? What are the steps I need to take to book a class? All those things. And then you want to look at that really ties into the online booking and purchasing experience, making sure that you're all connected. You all are Wellness Living customers, so making sure all your widgets are connected properly and integrated to your subscription so that it's an easy, seamless experience for new clients to book, to find the purchase option that works for them, to book that promotion that you're hosting on your website. So speaking of your website, I know I've been talking a lot. It's a lot of information to process. And if you're like me, it can be a little overwhelming in terms of the technical details. So I got some good news for you. We can help with this. We are just launching a website audit page where you can actually test your website. This is a third party that we've partnered with, that when you enter your URL into this page, it's going to give you a report on your website. It's going to look at all the things that we just talked about. And me and my team are the people that will work closely with you to be able to interpret the results of the audit and make sure that you get that detailed breakdown of how well your website is converting traffic into leads, key insights on your SEO. It's going to analyze those keywords that we talked about, the traffic behaviors. You're going to get a full competitor analysis with some strategies to stay on top of the leading website trends from the industry. Oh, good. They just posted in the chat the link to this audit as well. So it's I've done this a couple times now this month for some customers, and it's an extremely thorough report. It breaks things down into what's high priority, what's medium priority, and what's low priority. Like when you don't have anything else to do for your studio, that could be when you have an hour to look at some of those low priority aspects. But it's an extremely thorough report that we can provide you for your website. And as we mentioned, Adam and his team are responsible for building our presence websites for our customers. And really, we are offering this. I think we launched in late 2020 this design agency with in-house to design and manage websites that are really tailored to the fitness and wellness businesses. The whole website is built, hosted, and managed for you by Wellness Living. So if you're one of that 79% that's managing your website, and if maybe there's some of you that aren't loving that, and would like some help, that is something that we would love to help you with. And our team of business advisors can definitely help you with that audit and taking a look at what are the best options for your website. So that some of the things that are included are here. We have the basic website offering, and then we have also the premium website offering, which includes everything that you can see in basic. And it will include the ability to write blog posts. It'll have Google Analytics, and it will be you'll have enhanced SEO with that as well. So we will build and maintain. Typically, we have a 24-hour turnover process for any updates that are requested. But a lot of our business owners they have access as well to the back end and can make small changes. We're not talking about major refresh, but small changes to their business back end, to their website, to be able to reflect the changes that they want to make. So the Presence website, as I mentioned, is completely integrated with Wellness Living. So if there's any changes or new releases that are made in the Wellness Living subscription, that's automatically going to be updated on the Presence website. Of course, because it's integrated to Wellness Living, you're going to have a way better booking flow experience for your clients, for your customers, for new leads. And you will have this dedicated support team after going live. And I've experienced their benefit already. I was working with a customer a couple of weeks ago to do a site audit. They're a Presence customer already, and they had some revisions to make, and it was a great experience for everyone to get those done in a timely manner. And I really experienced that firsthand, how successful that was for this customer. All right, so we're coming to the end of this. Oh, I can't forget about this. In terms of our pricing, we are, because the business advisors are offering, hosting this webinar, we're offering 1 month free. So your first month free of Presence. And then for the next 2 months, it'll be that $149 discount. And for the rest of the months thereafter are $199 a month for us to host, design, and manage, keep that updated on your website. We are putting a time limit on this. We don't want to kill our Presence team here, but so if you reach out to any of the business advisors by next Friday, August 5th, as long as you've reached out or booked time on our calendar, you're going to get the 1 month free. And if you cry a little bit or offer me a compliment, you never know what that'll get you. But I can't say that on here because it's a recording. So I just want to remind you that if you are looking for help with your website, this can be an awesome upgrade for you and a great lead generating tool. Just contact us at the business advisors at wellnessliving.com. Again, we're going to send you the calendar booking link to my team in the follow-up email for sure. And you know what, if this isn't for you, maybe you're really happy with your website right now, you're who's managing it, but you'd like to book an account review and see how well you're utilizing Wellness Living. Are you using all the features to their optimal degree for your business? You can still book an account review with us. And we'll be happy to take a look at your business back end, take a look at your website, and make some suggestions to help you grow your business. All right. That was a lot of talking. So I am really grateful that you've all joined this webinar. We've had a few questions here and there. Adam, is there been any themes that you've noticed? Anything else that you've noticed that you wanted to address?
Thank you so much, Carrie. That was an amazing presentation altogether. So a few things that have been coming off and on in the questions and answers. I'm gonna bring that up in the live so that everyone can get answers if they do have something that they want to answer. So one from Roger Williams, he's asking if Presence website uses Wellness Living widgets. So the Presence website is completely an integrated website. It's not using the widgets, so it's everything integrated. So you don't have to worry about with the widgets anymore. It's an integrated website. So let's say you create a new staff member on Wellness Living. As it's integrated, the Presence website would automatically update and the new staff member will show. Same goes for classes, appointments, or events. Anything new that's upcoming, you just create that service in Wellness Living and it's going to automatically update on your Presence website. And Hannah asked, will Presence manage a GoDaddy website? So GoDaddy is a domain registrar itself. They do have websites that they build for you guys. For websites that are being hosted by other domain registrars, we will do the hosting ourselves. For you guys, you'll just have to buy and provide us the access to your domains. So just give us the access, we'll do the rest for you, and we'll set up everything for you guys. Any other questions? It's Yep, it's someone as an anonymous, but they're asking, can you migrate a website to Presence maintaining much of the look and feel? Yep, we can. We will try our best to migrate to and keep the same aesthetics if you really like that. However, once you are going through the onboarding, we'll give you a few demos of our Presence website. If you like, you can keep changing the design altogether and make a few tweaks if it looks much better for you. Mainly, it's going to be your final decision how you want your website to be set up. So we'll do and follow whatever is required by us. So what is the cost, if any, to migrate current website to Presence? So that was, I guess, the last slide. So there are two costs. So one is if you're building the website from scratch, like a new website altogether. And if you are building a website that's like migrating a website, so there's two different costs to that. But I guess we can add that in the follow-up email so that you guys can look at the costs.
For sure. The key, I'm sorry, I didn't point that out. The to convert an existing site is $349, and for a net new build, it's $649.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
You bet. All right. So some folks are asking, how do we get a Wellness Living audit? So if you want a website audit, we did put the URL in there. We will share it as well in the follow-up email. And if you want an audit of how you're using Wellness Living, like an account review from one of our business advisors, we will also include a booking link in the follow-up email so that you can have access to the business advisor's calendar and book a time that works for you. So,
Carrie,
yes.
I've got another new question. Interesting question, which anyone, I guess we should answer for everyone. So the question is, did you say that owners would have access to tools to make their own changes? Or, so I'll answer that first. So once we build the Presence website, once the website is live, we'll be providing you the backend credentials to the website, where you have access to make changes yourself. If you are looking to make changes yourself, you can do the changes yourself. You have the access to make changes to your website. The next part of the question is, or would we be required to submit tickets each time we want to make changes? So you can also submit changes if you don't want to do the updates yourself. Mainly because we are here to help you guys in setting up and updating anything on your website. And for us, it's going to take just one business day to make changes to your website. So you submit the ticket today, it might be done today. Otherwise, if not today, it's going to be done by tomorrow. Like one business day that we take to complete your revisions that you request by us. So yep, that was another good question. Amazing, guys.
Awesome, thank you. So I know some people are still asking for the business audit booking list, like the link for the account review. It will be shared in the follow-up email, but I'm also throwing it in the chat here for our calendar. That's the availability for the business advisors team, and that's for both a website audit. Just state that in the comments, and if that's what you want, or if you want an account review, that would be awesome. And me and my team will look forward to getting back to you and meeting with you and sharing some best practices with you.
Do we have time? We have a lot of other questions coming in now.
Okay.
So Andrea wants to share an example site. So can we share an example site?
For sure. Do you have one up? You can share, or I can share.
Yeah, you can share. Meanwhile, I'm just going to answer the next question. So Bev is asking, there's a monthly fee include all changes made, or do some changes cost additional after original setup? So there's no extra charges. So you'll just be giving us monthly fee, where if you want us to make changes, we can do that for you. There's no additional cost to that. Okay, Michael is very positive. He's just starting the onboarding with Wellness Living and he wants Presence. Amazing, Michael. Looking forward to talk to you soon. Then with this, so next is an anonymous person with service subscription. Do we get dedicated account managers to work with? So you'll have presence coordinators who will be setting up your whole presence website. So the coordinator will be in contact with you while you're going through the onboarding of the website, while everything is being set up. Even when the website goes live, if you send any emails to us, to the presence team, the same person would be in contact with you even after you go live. So you, if he might be busy with onboarding other customers, like new presence customers signing up, then the next available person would be in contact with you, just so that we don't keep you from making changes to the website, and we can address your queries sooner than later.
Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen now. I think you can see this is our demo site that we've built, and just goes through all the variety of the classes. You know, you'll see the call out to download the app, all the look and feel of one of the sites. Of course, these are customizable, but this is a demo site that is connected to schedules and all this good stuff. So that's kind of the look and feel of what we can offer with the presence websites for sure. That just gives you a little look and feel. I did see that Bev asked if the monthly fee includes all changes made, or do some changes cost additional after the original setup. Typically with you have a certain number of major refreshes throughout the year that are included, but if you went beyond that, I think there would be additional charges, but typically that hasn't been necessary up to this point. So the original setup fee that we talked about, and then the monthly ongoing subscription will cover those changes, refreshes. All right, so that's just a little look and feel of our test site, and gives you just an idea of how that is, how that looks in the store, login, things like that. I'm just gonna stop sharing now. I hope that was helpful. I see Sybil just asked about the ideal amount of times one should change their website to keep it fresh. I think as whenever you have new promotions, whenever you have a new instructor, like any new offerings to host, or events, if you have a promotion with a local yoga studio or somebody else in a coffee bar, like those are all things to keep your website fresh, keep people coming to it. And I don't think there's an ideal amount of times, but I think it's something that you want to be maintaining on an ongoing basis, more than once or twice per year, for sure. Okay. Anything else? Last call. All right, amazing. Well, thank you all so much. I know some people had to drop off, but thank you all for staying with us and joining this webinar. I hope it was helpful to you and maybe a little entertaining, or maybe you'll never want to talk to me again. I'm not sure, but I had fun, and I really enjoyed actually the learning curve that I've experienced over this last month as I got ready for it. And I look forward to meeting many more of you on our account reviews. Again, reach out to us for an account review. If you're looking to change your website up, that will have all that information on the follow-up email as well as the recording. So you all have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to being in touch.